Soul Hackers 2, the new turn-based RPG by Atlas, has a lot of opinions about it. There's a lot of negative ones, a lot of positive ones, and then a bunch of people in the middle where they're like, the game's good. Now, my experience has been very positive with the game, but also kind of weird. I read a lot of the negative stuff beforehand, and then I kind of expected a bit of it. You know, I was going in open-minded, and I just now kind of disagree with a lot of those negatives after now playing it. So I wanted to give my input on this game, give all my thoughts and opinions, and hopefully show you guys that there is a lot of love and things to love in Soul Hackers 2. So you play as Ringo, an AI humanoid sent down to save the Earth from destruction, and she's also way too close to the screen and too much to the left. So let me give y'all a tip. Go into the settings and change your options. You can make the point of view whatever you want. I've actually seen this complaint way too much on my Twitter, so I'm just throwing that out there. Make Ringo have a camera view of however you want. I went into Soul Hackers 2 not expecting much. I expected a fun Atlas game with fun combat and a lot of style. And I actually got a lot more than that, which really surprised me. The look of the game, the aesthetics, and the vibe with how they use the music is incredible. If you're playing this on PS5 or PC, this game looks insane. And even on the older consoles, the style is so good in the art that you're pretty much getting the same package except for the 4K. So the game has the looks down for sure. There's a lot of effort being poured into these portraits and these areas of Tokyo being reimagined. What surprised me the most though is how much I wanted to hop back on the game because I was so immersed in this little cozy, semi-creepy world. All the characters come from some really messed up background and find each other in a really funny way. Ringo basically has the power to resurrect people, and they call it soul hacking. This is because they're sent down from something called Ion, which is basically a godly technological force. So that's all story stuff, and honestly pretty interesting to me. The story isn't the craziest part of this game though, it's more so how the characters present themselves. Whenever you do hangout events or even main story arcs, the cast feels real at times, which I really enjoy because they're also so wacky. They have a lot of personality, and I catch myself wanting to do the hangout events. Even they're not even voiced, and I want to do the hangout events. If you know me, you know I like voice acting. So having this much fun with the cast at pretty much almost every turn was a real joy because I was not expecting that at all. I was expecting mainly to enjoy the combat, and that was about it maybe, the vibes and stuff, but no, I'm really invested in this cast and where they're going, and even in the story, as ridiculous as it can be sometimes. A lot of the requests you will get, which are basically side quests, will have you talk to NPCs that are all scattered throughout the world, and they will talk about each other, talk about items that other NPCs have. You'll catch yourself going back and forth from these characters and seeing what they're all about and their stories, which makes the world feel really immersive. I was pretty surprised how many of the side quests I've wanted to do. Now, to get deeper insight into your cast, you want to go to this axis, which is basically an endless dungeon. Not totally endless, but you go through a bunch of floors, and they look very samey. Now, I get it. A lot of the complaints have been about the dungeons. They're too linear, they look the same, and I definitely understand that complaint. But I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I have fun in these dungeons. The way you fill out the map and just see it appear as you're exploring, talking to your demons around the place and they give you items, makes them feel like they're a part of your squad. I don't know, I really enjoy that. You also have side quests in there, like you could walk up to Jack Frost bitch ass and he'll be like, go kill 10 demons for me and I'll give you this. So there's actually a lot in these dungeons that I enjoy. So yes, it does get annoying looking at them aesthetically. I would say that's my biggest gripe with it. But in terms of linear, I don't know. I like filling out the map. I like going floor to floor to floor. It's a lot of fun to me because I'm grinding most of the time, because that's another thing I want to get to. I've seen the complaint of the game being a bit too easy. I would have to disagree. On normal mode, you have to make sure your team is built and your level is decent enough to fight the story bosses. I didn't take it seriously enough because I heard those complaints, and the first story boss whooped my ass. I went back out, built up my team a bit more, smacked a couple more demons, and I came back and whooped his ass. That is really fun to me, and the boss itself had mechanics in there where you had to think. So I really enjoyed it. Also, the flair it has, the animations of the attacks you do are just satisfying. And if you're playing on PlayStation 5 and you got like the rumble of the controller, when you get your Sabbath stacks and you get to like 4 or 5, that shit just blows up and I feel like my controller is gonna explode. But it's super satisfying. It makes almost simple combat really fun, but at the same time, I think it has plenty of depth. I don't think it's too simple. You also just start unlocking more summoner skills, and it unlocks a bunch of new mechanics, even stuff like Ringo to run faster, which I know some people wanted that to be in the beginning of the game, but the enemies have to ambush you a little bit for some of that challenge in the dungeon, so I honestly think that's fine. I didn't really have a problem with that, so I've been having a blast with the combat of this game. I also love building my team so much because the menus and the art is so nice when you're upgrading your weapons and stuff like that. And let me get to the music. This has honestly probably going to be one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. It just has some vibes I love, but at the same time, I think they set the mood perfectly in every situation. I would say the only lame one is maybe when you're walking around a dungeon. It's, you know, the same thing every time, but it's vibey. So I kind of like it. And then when you go into the boss fights, the music just kicks. It is incredible. So for me, everything has kind of come in full circle to give me this experience that I've been really enjoying. So when people ask me, you know, do you recommend Soul Hackers 2? I have to say yes. I want to hop back on this game every day and build my team. I want to see what happens next in the story. I like hanging out with Ringo and Saizo and all the weirdos. It's a pretty damn fun JRPG. It is not on the scale of, let's say, Persona 5 Royal, but it's not supposed to be. I didn't go into this game thinking that, and I understand people's complaints with the game, but some of them I just have to disagree with. And if you're thinking on buying Soul Hackers 2, maybe on the edge, if you want my opinion, I say get it. It's a lot of fun and it's been a blast in my opinion. If you guys enjoy any of my content, please make sure to leave a like and sub, as it really helps me out a ton. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and if you're playing Soul Hackers 2, please let me know in the comments. Are you enjoying it? What are your gripes? Let me know all the details. Have a great day, guys.